We're back here in Star Dressing Room number 1, talking to a lady who is, well, delicious. Sue Pollard, how are you?
I'm absolutely brilliant, darling. It's lovely to see you again for a start, and it's nice to be able to be talking to all your lovely listeners.
What is amazing about you is those people who come in for the first time and don't realise how good you are at singing. I always say this on the show, it's a real skill of yours, and I think people are always pleasantly surprised, and they come out going, God, she's great.
Oh, bless you. I think a lot of people are still surprised that you have got any kind of voice at all, simply because if you become known for, say, like appearances in sitcoms, where in actual fact it's probably mostly dialogue and you don't really have to do any singing at all, then I suppose it's understandable that people are still surprised when you can belt something out. But you see, the greatest thing was, I got my break in a sitcom, and Elaine Page got her break in Evita. But it was fantastic because we used to see each other at the same auditions. Now, we were both physically poles apart, you can imagine. But I think your agent sent you for everything, just to see, if you can get in any work, and hence his commission. So it's still nice to be able to think that some people are still coming to see you and think, oh, I didn't realise she sang this and she sang that. It's nice that you can still pleasantly surprise people. Let's
talk about you, the fashion icon. I'm a fashion moron, you're a fashion icon. Let's describe what this is today. We've got things on your necklace. What's that then?
These are wonderful plastic kind of little, this is a whistle. Right, that's made of plastic, so that's fantastic. There's also a tennis ball in a book with a pen on it. These are all 30 years old. You don't expect a whistling necklace, do you?
And you don't expect a dog collar either, do you, really?
Actually, that's very true. I thought to myself, hey, this is fantastic. There was a fabulous shop in Manchester, because we'd been everywhere with this tour. And I went to this fantastic place, and it's sort of like a S&M shop. I thought, I've got to have a bit of that, Anyway.
Marks and Spencer.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it's the reverse, isn't it?
Anyway, it's a campus thing, so I thought, I've got to have this. So I've got a matching wrist dog collar, loads and loads of... Loads and loads of like sparkly jewellery. Well, you know what my bling's like? I don't want expensive bling because I leave them everywhere. And I've got a tabard on with got great big gaps at the side. Then I've got a wonderful pair of leggings that are sort of almost like these were given to me because they were made by 2 students of fashion, London School of Fashion. And I said, oh, they're sending me in the post. These wonderful kids that they appreciate people with imagination, I think. And I think equally they'll get their gear worn, which is fantastic. So I'm more than happy to be, I'll be a designer's dream.
Everybody knows you. Is it difficult to get anywhere? I mean, can you go to Greggs the Baker's for some cobs? Oh yeah, I can still go, but they're great because sometimes they'll go, hey up, Sue, how you doing? All right. And I say, I'm fine, thanks, which is fantastic. I enjoy all that. And then you might get some of the others and they might go, it is you, what are you doing here? And then you think to yourself, oh, we've obviously had great pre-publicity, they haven't got a clue what I'm doing here. It's like, you get these taxi drivers and you might be in a Panto and you might be there for, say, 6 or 7 weeks. And it's like your last Wednesday of the run. And it'll be, what have you been doing? I said, I've only been doing, like Jack and the Beanstalk for 7 weeks, darling. But sometimes people don't expect to see you walking in the street, I mean, I've seen people that I've seen on TV or know from where they are, and I go, oh, it's Trevor McDonald. Oh, he's marvellous. And I still get excited when I see people that I know, you know what I mean? It's fabulous. I'll tell you why I worry about you, this touring continually, which you seem to have done all your career. Isn't it lonely in those premier lodges? I don't do it very often, but when I have to stay in them, I find it incredibly tragic and just see myself as a mini Alan Partridge.
I can understand exactly what you mean. I'm more than happy to do a premier lodge. I'm not one of these, I paint my sweet green with, purple blobs. But mostly, I've been fortunate enough to stay in some very, very nice establishments. Sometimes I stay with mates, like I'm staying with my friend Steve this week, bookend. I don't ask me why I call him bookend, but it's just a bit of a camp thing. And then of course in Brighton I've got a flat, but if I hadn't have got a flat I could have commuted, but on a regular basis, daily, I think an hour and a half each way can sometimes be a bit too much, Alex. So you like to be above the shop. But I've been very, very fortunate, and we've had some great, great hotels, lovely flats, great digs. People, it's surprising how many people on the digs list, that's what they call it, each theatre, are more than happy to open up their homes for you. And I must say, I think they're unsung heroes. They don't get mentioned enough. So to all those lovely people that offer us accommodation, we are so, so grateful. And thank you very much from all of us and all the cast and the band.
Absolutely. The last time I saw you were in The Menopause, the musical. How does it feel now going through the menopause?
Well, I must say, at first I thought, it can't be happening to me. And I knew something was up because I felt a bit odder than normal. And one of the things that happened, I thought, what am I doing putting my handbag in the oven? Because you do your mind plays tricks and you go a bit odd. And it's all a bit, and these terrible things and then you think to yourself, I used to love certain foods, and then you'd go off them for whatever reason. And apparently, it's all to do with your metabolic cycle and the way it's all changing. So, but girls who are going through it or are yet to go through it, hang on in there. You do come through the other side.
I was talking about the show, not personally.
Oh, sorry. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter anyway, does it? You see, I like to think I'm a role model for the older girl. She can still hack it. Yeah.
Everybody says to me about you, because I've known you more than 10 years now, you were one of the first that I ever did and are still doing, which is nice, isn't it? And they say, is she really like that? And where does she get her energy from? Answer both of those questions.
I suppose it's a terminology that I found from somebody else, and I thought that was it was the essence of a person's being. You're a life embracer. You see, even if I've got problems, or like we all have, haven't we? I mean, luckily, I hardly have any problem in my life at all. But if I do, I think it's always like what my dad said. Just get on with it. You could come through the other side. It's how you handle it, how you let it affect you. And I just think of all my pluses. And I tell you what, darling, I've got so many pluses to be grateful for, and so many people haven't. And I so know that I'm lucky. I'm doing something that I fabulously enjoy on a regular basis. I just look for all the pluses, and there are plenty.
I think it is your optimism and your love for it that keeps you here today.
Well, it's very nice of you to say that, Alex, because I do think that is a plus. And I think actually what you just described, it's essential to have qualities like that because, you've got to be able to enjoy what you're doing because you've got to put that across to somebody else. And not only that, darling, you're not just doing it once a week, you're doing it 8 times and sometimes for months on end. So it can't become a daily grind. Exactly what you said. If you choose wisely and you choose exactly, if you can, if you're in a position to choose and indeed are able to get offered a choice, that is your first bonus. Then if you choose something that you think is obviously popular and is going to appeal to the public, and then it's up to you to give your very, very best every time. It's not just about enjoyment, it's about extreme discipline, really, and stamina. And then, but you learn how to build that up, and you have to remember that you have to have a respect for the public. They come along, they pay their money, it's hard earned, especially these days, and it's up to you to send them out, whatever you're doing, going, I got value for money, and my God, I enjoyed myself, and that's my criteria. Really.
Well, I love you very much. Thank you for being you, and thank you for talking to me again. It's always a pleasure.
It's a real pleasure. Now, come on, take me for a pint.
Loving the dog collar, by the way.